Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Super Sam 7 and my second Goosebumps book review, and it's going to be on Goosebumps Horrorland issue 1, Revenge of the Living Dummy. And I have changed the format of these videos. This one is going to be way quicker, I think, because the first video went on for like 14 minutes. It was my first one ever. That's why. Anyway, so Goosebumps Horrorland is the first Goosebumps series I ever read live. So when the books were coming out, I was buying them, and it was a very exciting and fun time for me. This was the first book I got, and not just because it was issue 1, it was just a complete coincidence. And I read it, and like I said in the last video of me reviewing Goosebumps, this one is basically the same story where Slappy is like a real doll, or pretends to be, or he doesn't pretend to be. He is a real doll, but somebody makes him do evil stuff. Someone that's related to the main character. In this, it's her younger brother, cousin, or not brother, cousin, her younger cousin, Ethan, and her name's Brittany, the main character, and her little cousin makes the dummy seem alive and evil, but and she does research on the dummy, and she sees that Slappy and that he's actually an evil person, stuff like that. So they read the words to put him to sleep, the Karu Maru, those 6 words that put the Slappy awake or asleep, and they do that, but Slappy actually wakes up then, because it was all just a prank by Ethan, and he tries to steal this new doll in the series, or just in this book actually, from what I remember, called the Mind Stealer, and at the end, Slappy's head gets hit against the Mind Stealer doll, and it actually kills him apparently. His mind gets erased, he's just an actual plain old dummy at the end of it. So, and that's just like the first 90 pages of the book. The first 3/4 of the book is an actual Goosebumps story, and they're actually really good. They're actually really fast paced, and I actually like it a lot more. And then the last quarter of the book is a new section called Enter Horrorland, where we see the main characters from the first book, or sorry, from the start. Enter Horrorland, which is the horror amusement park in the Goosebumps universe. There was already stories about this. I think there was One Day at Horrorland and Return to Horrorland, and then R.L. Stine decided to make this series all about Horrorland and bring in a whole bunch of villains into it, from new ones and past ones. And of course, the first issue has Slappy the Dummy. So the first issue, or issue, I keep saying issue, first book is basically them just arriving at Horrorland and getting scared by a bunch of stuff. And at the end, their parents disappear, and they see a camera with Slappy on the picture, or they see past pictures and Slappy's on it, and that's how it ends. Very creepy. Anyway, oh yeah, this big green monster on the front of the, or green gate, I would imagine. It's not Monster Blood. It's not in this, or maybe it is Monster Blood, but it's not in the story at all. And I think there's the Mummy. There's a Cyclops who a Cyclops isn't in any of these books, but I know Mummy's in issue 10. And then the Sorceress Lady, she's in here too. She actually gives I think in this issue she gives a fortune to Brittany, and it says something bad, but something like that is in book 10. And yeah, I just really love this cover also. I love at the very top, Goosebumps Horrorland dripping down with some other shiny silver thing dripping down as well. One thing this book has on the very back, which I guess I should have shown, it says, "The thrill ride begins. Stare into the wooden face of fear," and it tells you a description of the first 3/4 of the book, and then enter a land of 1,000 horrors, and that tells you the last quarter of the book about going to the amusement park, and there's a bunch of puns in here with the Slappy and Dummy puns. Games, prizes, dummies. This is your book, is your ticket to enterhorrorland.com, and it shows half of Slappy's face, and it says find us. You put it into a mirror. That was a really interesting thing they did. I actually really like that they did that in the book. So I cut the video because I decided to just make the pictures myself and show you guys, because they weren't online at all. So here you go. This is the back cover I was talking about. As you see in the bottom left corner, has the coin. And in fact, the next Goosebumps book I plan on reviewing is going to be the second one in this series, called Creep from the Deep. In fact, you can see it right here. I also like these checklists. Catch a cab if you can get one to slow down, to the stagger in. Find Madame Doom, search for the Mind Stealer. That's what the doll's called. The doll that took Slappy's brain in the main book, in the main story of this. Defeat Slappy the Dummy. And of course, Slappy's the icon of Goosebumps, so this was a big deal. I do have the book. Obviously, I reviewed it in the first episode. Don't know why it's not checked off. And yeah, that was my username and password for the website when it was on. And as you can see, there's book 2 cover, Creep from the Deep, right there. And there's one other thing about the books that I love to see or show you guys is map number 1. As you can see, that's the hotel in Horrorland called the Stagger Inn, and that's what it looks like. Every book there's a 2-page map, or part of a map. There's 12 in total, obviously, that you can see. And yeah, it's pretty nice. I actually really like that they did that. It makes me want to collect, or made me want to collect all the books, and I actually did. So so this video, time with the review. So one thing I liked the most about it was the very end of the main story with Slappy dragging them out of bed and getting them to go outside. It's all in one night too, like in the first book where he tries it multiple days. This is all in one. This is all when he comes to life. It's all in one time. And what happens is Slappy makes her and her friend go to the graveyard to dig up the Mind Stealer doll because earlier in the book they just buried it because they just didn't like it. I guess I kind of forget. I don't think they even had to, but anyway. So Slappy makes them dig up the Mind Stealer doll again, and they get in a fight at the in the last second they can because their parents show up, or Brittany's parents show up, and they slam Slappy to the ground. His head cracks against the Mind Stealer doll, still in the glass case, and it steals his mind. And well, there you go. Everything else, I think the jokes in here are actually better than the first book, and actually the scary parts are even better than in the first Night of the Living Dummy, and that's something I can really appreciate. I do hope that I know March there's gonna be another Slappy book. There's a new series called Slappy's World or something, and Monster Blood is gonna be returning, so that's kind of interesting. Or maybe it already happened in October. I don't really read modern Goosebumps books, but I have a feeling someday doing these videos I will. So another thing is they actually give the horrors a lot of personality here. Each one is very unique. Like there's this one in this taxi that's driving him to the hotel, and he pretends to go out of control, and there's like a giant car crash almost to a wall. Obviously the car is revealed to be on tracks, so it's just another scary prank on any guest, I guess, who does that, and I actually really like that part. There's also a horror at the gate. They're like waiting around for a long time, and he just surprises them and scares them. And then there's one at the reception desk who basically doesn't care at all about anything. The only other thing I'm going to mention is the relationship between Brittany Crosby and her little cousin Ethan. It's actually really good. I actually thought it was done really, really well, getting some tension, but some caring and actual development and events that happen, even though he's kind of just I wouldn't say just a plot point, but he's there to bring Slappy in, and that's really the greatest thing. But the writing is really good. I actually, this is a really good book, so I do recommend you guys checking it out, at least the first one and whatnot. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a good day.